2023 Hyundai Elantra N sports sedan in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to OPAFET Gaming. I am the OPAFET. Today we're driving a 2023 Hyundai Elantra N in a special race called the, get this, the Hyundai Elantra N 1 make. We're driving at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. I probably didn't pronounce that right, and I apologize. We're doing 4 laps. We started 10th of 10 cars and we started with a rolling start. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that word and I try my best, but I always seem to butcher it. Anyhow, these 4 laps are going to take a little bit of time to do, and I think they're cool. This is a very, very cool track. It was introduced in the Spec 3 update that we got just over a month ago, along with the Yas Marina circuit, and I've really enjoyed these 2 new tracks. They're a lot of fun to drive. Now, the Hyundai Elantra is not a sports car. They call it a sports sedan, but you really have to be careful pulling around the corners and speeding up too early, or not slowing down enough before you get to the corners. They're a tough vehicle to race in. That's why this, it's a different race with all Hyundai Elantras. But this particular race, for some reason, seemed to run a little bit better for me than the other ones. I've driven this car before, but it seemed to respond better. It seemed to have more power. But then I guess it's probably just all in my head. Now you got a few nice straight sections like this one right here, where he's not gonna let me go by. He cut me off there. Where you got a chance to pass 1 or maybe 2 cars if you're quick enough, if you're behind them. It's a long straight section. And then you got another short little straight section right here, where if you're right behind the guy like we are at this point, you can take him before you get to the corner, but you got to be really quick, because you don't want to come right to this corner in full throttle, because then you're going to overshoot it, which I've done before too. So now we're in our second lap, coming around the corner here, and as you can see, it's a pretty tough go trying to catch up to these guys and then pass it. And there again, when you're in this part of the track, there is really no point in even trying to pass, and the best you can do is just keep up with the guy in front of you. Now, sections like this here, you could probably pass them if you had a little bit of a faster car, but we don't. So we're going to have to stick behind them for a little bit longer. But it doesn't take too long, because after a couple more corners here, you come up to that long sweeping, it's a straight section that's just slightly curved. You can usually catch at least 1 person napping. Maybe sometimes it's you yourself, the OPAFET. Maybe he gets napping. But we managed to get by this one guy here now. So we're catching up to what I believe is probably the main group, because we're getting close to almost finishing this lap, and when we do, we'll be halfway through the race, and we should have caught up to the main pack by then, by halfway through the race, or we're going to have a tough time getting up to the lead. Now we can see, well, there's 4 cars still in front of us there. Yeah. And when we get to the end of this here straight, that'll be the end of the lap. And we'll be halfway through the race, and probably there again, the OPAFET forgets to count how many cars he's passed, so we only need to pass 9. I'm not sure whether we've passed 4 or 5 cars. It's got to be about at least 4 anyhow. So we're just going to keep ripping a little bit longer to slow down a little bit for this corner, stay in control. And we can, like I said, we can see 4 cars in front of us. Try and take this guy here too, so we're down to the 3. Like I said, I'm not quite sure if these last 3 cars, oh no, wait a minute, we can see 4 still. There you go. Initially we had 5 that we still had to pass. So going into our 3rd lap, we got 4 cars left in front of us, and we're just going to stick with these guys and maybe through that sweeping curve pass 1 more, and then on back on the straight section, get a couple more, maybe get back to the front of the pack. That'd be the way to go, I would think. At the same time, keep an eye on those guys in your rear view mirror too, because they're not going away. Now, we tried to pass him there, and I don't think he liked that all too much, so he came back at us, but that's okay, because we're going to give it another shot over here. We're going to get in front of him, and then we got these two cars right here that are still close by, and then one way up ahead there. So we're going to take the rest of this lap to try and get by these two guys and get a little closer to the lead car, because this lap is quickly evaporating and we're only going to have one lap left to go and still got a ways to go to catch up to them. But they slow down quite a bit around the corners, like it's just unbelievable. But look at him zip away. As soon as he's around the corner, boy, he's gone. He's a fast little car. I don't know why he's so fast. We're all supposed to be the same car, but we'll try and squeeze by this guy on the outside as we're coming into the home stretch of the third lap. Gotta keep an eye out for this corner, slow down, respect the corner, and the corner will respect you, as we don't slam into the wall on the opposite side here. Now, we're not going to be able to catch him and pass him in this section. We got to get a little closer first, but he's really fighting me. I've got her floored and I can't catch him, but we'll get him back about right by the corners again. Just like that. Now we caught up to him. We know we got 2 or 3 sections that are nice and straight where we could pass him, so we're going to have to stick with him nice and close and then give it a shot when we get to one of those sections, because this is our last lap and we don't have a lot of time. These laps are not that long and they go by pretty quick. So not around here. Wait till we get to that sweeping curve. Absolutely awesome race. I really enjoyed this one for a Hyundai Elantra. Boy, I'll tell you, she drove really nice. Very, very comfortable driving this. Now here we're going to give it a shot. Boy, he's going fast. We're going to squeeze through here and try and stay ahead of him. Now you got to keep an eye on him in the rear view mirror. We can see him. But we can't slow down through any of these here corners, because if you do, he'll zip right by you again. So you got to keep a little bit of space between him and you. And there again, you can see him in your rearview mirror, and that'll show you exactly how hard you got to push to stay ahead of him. Absolutely awesome. Just love this. This was a really great race. I really enjoyed this. But then I love driving on this track, and it doesn't seem to make a difference what I drive. But the Hyundai Elantra this time was a really nice car to drive. I really enjoyed it. I hope you liked the video. Hope to see you back at OpenFed Gaming again. Until then, you've been racing in a 2023 Hyundai Elantra N sports sedan with me as your driver, the OpenFed.